Dana Sebe's this civil defense is a civil defense officer I told you slept with her in Pastor Nehemiah's room. She got pregnant. Mrs. Roots, end of it, took the girl out of the orphanage and put her in the house of somebody else. Then she delivered in a clinic in Yanya. So Mrs. Roots now told her that if she allows her to take the baby away, she will sponsor her education. So at the point of delivery, the baby was taken away, and the baby was not seen until about 4 years later, and that was when I reported to NAPTIP. So not just that, they now took her, and there was a man. I don't know what happened to the man's wife. The man has 6 children. He stays in Nyanya. They took this girl, and the man was looking for somebody to marry. They now took this girl, Chika. Her name is also Christiana, as a minor, to go to marry that man. The girl is still in that house till today, as I'm talking. We spoke yesterday.
The child, where did you guys find the child after 4 years?
Okay, so I when I learned of the case, I went to NAPTIP, knowing that there were other cases of missing children that I know of. I went to NAPTIP to go and report. This is 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is me again today, KAA, the host of KaaTruths podcast, and I have with me in the studio today a medical doctor. His name is Peter Arwa. He's come to share very disturbing stories about some atrocities, wickedness that has been going on in a certain orphanage home here in Abuja. I'm not talking about just mere criminalities. I'm talking about wickedness at the highest level. Child trafficking, orphanages, you have children and all of that. They sell these children to the highest bidders. They do all sorts of things, molestation, rape. In fact, I'm not going to say much about it because what my ears have heard, it's better heard from the source. So I introduce to you Peter Arwa. You're welcome, sir. He's a medical doctor, and this is a first-hand information, and I feel very disturbed. We would want you to not hold anything back, Peter. And I appreciate your courage when you reached out to us. You said you wanted to talk about this. I felt this is a very big one, a very big case. And such cases requires enormous courage.
Yes.
For someone to be able to step forward and say, I'm no longer taking this, I'm coming to expose this evil.
Yes.
So I encourage, I applaud that courage.
Yeah.
And you have the platform, so don't hold anything back. Tell us your story, and please do not say what you do not have proof of. Whatever you're going to say, ensure it's something you'll be able to provide substantial proof. All right?
All right. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share this story. I will do my best to stick with what I know. So again, my name is Dr. Peter. I came to Hope for Survival Orphanage. Hope for Survival Orphanage is located at Nikon Junction, Gishiri Maitama Extension in Abuja here. So I came to the orphanage in 2011. This orphanage is owned by one Mrs. Ruth Ibrahim. She was a former POA president. POA is a Prisons Officers' Wife Association. So the husband was the former Comptroller General of Nigerian Prison Service, now Nigerian Correctional Service. So the name of the husband is Mr. Zekeri Ibrahim Ohinoi. So he was the Comptroller General of Nigerian Prison Service when during President Goodluck Jonathan. And then his tenure also extended into the first into the first tenure of our deceased president, the former president, General President Mohammed Buhari. So I came to the orphanage in 2011. Prior to that time, I don't know Mrs. Ruth. Mrs. Ruth Ibrahim, it was my mom who died under some circumstances, which Mrs. Ruth also has a hand in it too, that knew her. My mom used to sell clothes to support us. So then Mrs. Ruth Ibrahim was the principal of this school called Government Day Secondary School in Uke. So my brother was in that school, so she was the principal of that school. So my mom used to take clothes to go and sell to her, and that's how they met. But prior to that time, I don't know Mrs. Ruth. However, she heard about me because in my school I was one of the best students. So, and um, there used to be this ANCOPS, they call it, is the association of principals that used to meet. So the students that are doing well, maybe representing schools or even representing the state, they will mention their name. So she heard about my name there. She heard my name there. So I was in school when I heard that my mom had moved into the orphanage to also work, and that she also wanted to support my mom. So actually, in the orphanage, there's a staff quarters. There's a school. What they call it? She has this group of schools called Melchizedek Academy that have branches all over between Nasarawa and Abuja. You have where Melchizedek Academy Lafia, Melchizedek Academy in UK, then Melchizedek Academy Gishiri. That's the one that is inside that orphanage. Then Melchizedek Academy in Maraba in I think Abacha Road. Then Melchizedek Academy in Wuse. So she was the proprietress of the school and the director of the orphanage. So that my mom was working in the orphanage, so she had the accommodation in the orphanage there. So when I came back from school, I joined her. Then I started working. I started teaching in the orphanage school. So I started teaching in the orphanage school. That was before I went to medical school. Then I wrote JAMB, and we were waiting for admission the admission list to come out. Unfortunately, I got the medicine. So when I'm an introverted person, not normally. I was worse than this before. I'm not somebody that likes to go and meet new people. So I did not see it fit to want to know who she was or whatever. But my brother already knew her because I said she's the principal of the school where he attended. So I started teaching in the school. At that time, the people that were managing the orphanage were Dan Asebe. Dan Asebe is the son to this Mrs. Ruth. Then he was not a civil defense, but he's a civil defense official now, NSCDC. And then there was this Pastor Nehemiah. Pastor Nehemiah was also managing the orphanage, but he was going and coming. So I joined the orphanage. So sometimes I go to the orphanage building. The school there's a school one side. There's also the building where the orphans stay. So yes, they have a large city room where there's a big large TV. So sometimes maybe there's a match. We'll go there and watch, and they will share food in the morning, afternoon, evening. So when you are there, they will also share it they will also give me food. Like, okay, this is our uncle. So, and also I got involved in the religious aspect of the home as well. So I became like one of the people that prepare roster for morning devotion, also preaching at the night vigil, at the vigils and stuff like that. So I became close. So I was close to Dan Asebe. So it continued like that. Then sometimes later, okay, yes, Mrs. Roots. When I got the admission, I got some money I had 70,000 naira on me to go and to go and process my admission and stuff like that. So she somehow heard and now called me and said that she heard that I got admission to study medicine. So Mrs. Ruth now added 70,000 naira to me. That's as far back as 2012. That's when I resumed school 2013. So she gave me, so I had 140,000 naira. So, and something like she wants me to be coming around to be seeing stuff like that. So, but I now discovered something that she was treating my mother badly. Yeah. I schooled in University of Jos. At that time, Jos was just coming out of crisis. So it was a lot of, there were a lot of, I mean, the fear about going to Jos. But me, I felt like that was where I should go and school. And by the grace of God, I came out very well. So she one time I remember that time she just met my mother and said, "Can you imagine that your son is going to study in a place that is I mean the security, there is a lot of security challenges." No, she was saying it in such a way to get at her, so that so that she would be panicking. So I wasn't really pleased with that. That was my first encounter that with her that showed that there was something not right with this particular Mrs. Ruth Ibrahim. So I wasn't pleased with that, knowing that my mom was also sick. I told you about that, but I don't want to go deep into it because it's a private issue. So, and after sometimes maybe we're on strike or maybe school is on a brief holiday, I will come back to the orphanage and then I will also help Mrs. Ruth in her. I will go to her office to help her out. So that time they were at Nelson Mandela Street, Soko. I think this is number 72, if I still remember. Nelson Mandela Street. There's a prison's guest house there. So we used to go there and this thing. Then people like Franklin and Franklin was the manager, and then there was this Ismaila was the accountant. So, but we began to see that she was also always oppressing people, treating them badly. In fact, some people, there's even somebody that was still being owed salary till now. You understand? So there were a lot of nasty things going on. She would just, because she was this kind of person that is power drunk. So I mean, like, there's nothing you can do to her because the power was on their side. The husband is the Comptroller General of Prisons and stuff like that. So I began to notice things. The workers were disgruntled, were complaining and stuff like that. I'll still get more into that as I proceed with my story. So later on in the orphanage, Dan Asebe, who I said is the son,
that is managing the orphanage.
Yes, Dan Asebe got a civil defense job. He became a civil defense officer. So he's no longer going to be around as such again. So somebody else was brought in. This person is called Kephas Stadios. Kephas Stadios. When Kephas came to the orphanage, he was a very slim person, tall. So he came to the orphanage, and then things started going worse in the orphanage. So so for one thing that Kephas was doing was he had a shop. I have the audio, which I believe can be played later. Kephas will carry this orphanage. Let me go. This orphanage is a place where we see a lot of visitors. Like, this is where I saw celebrities coming. We have footballers coming. We had people like Tonto Dike coming, Jim Ike. They were coming to donate. Even one American rapper came and donate. So you see, they were like steady stream of visitor. And at that time, there was somebody working with Mrs. Ruth called David Shonowo. David Shonowo is now he's also a prisons officer now, but he left because he saw that things were not the way he. So David Shonowo at that time was like mom. They called Mrs. Ruth mommy. She was mommy's PA, like mommy's PA. So he was the one running up and down, publicizing because he can speak well. He has this kind of like, is it American accent or so. I think he studied English language university. So he used to be the one that was garnering support for the orphanage. So donations were coming. We're seeing a lot of, and there will be parties, people that want to throw birthday parties at Hope for Survival Orphanage. They will come there, organize parties, donate, and stuff like that. So Kefa Stadios came to the orphanage, and this person barely has it's even questionable that he finished secondary school. When he came, like I said, he was very slim, like tall and very slim. But if I show you the picture, Kefas is fat and tall, so he's like somebody that is huge now. So Kefas would like the salary was like 20,000 naira at that time, and as a manager of the orphanage, who is replacing Dan Asebi, he's required to be in the orphanage throughout because his house is inside the orphanage. So he has to be there all the time to welcome visitors. He's the one that to welcome visitors and I mean
Oversee the affairs of the orphanage.
Yes. So he's always there. Always there. But then I was also looking at it that the salary was small, 20,000 naira and stuff like that. So we now discover later that Kefas donations, food items was being carried out of the orphanage. Mrs. Wood used to also come to carry food to the orphanage to go and is it to cook in a restaurant, whatever the food. So
the food that people donated to the orphanage.
Yes, to in a restaurant. She started like 5 businesses. All of them failed. Even the school, the Melchizedek Academy. If you go and check it, the last time I checked it I was like, is this a private school? As in the school is a deplorable state. They have the structure, but it's like very empty, and that's because of the way she was treating the staff.
The management.
Yeah, management, as in oppressing them. Like so there's this kind of psychopathic desire to just torture or oppress people. That is just psychopathic. Somebody will not offend you. You just want to step on the person's foot because you know that person can't do you anything.
And this is the kind of woman that owns the orphanage.
That owns the orphanage. In fact, I pray that as this video is coming out, that a lot of people will come out and also tell their story, even if it is anonymously, because there are a lot of victims. So I was talking about Kefas. So Kefas will send. I have the audio. We can play it, maybe attached to this video. Kefas will send the children. He has a shop in Pape. Gishiri and Nikon Junction is not far from Pape. So he has a shop in Pape. He will send the children to carry food stuff from the orphanage to go and sell in a provision store that he has in Pape. This is somebody that barely, I told you that even his O level is questionable, whether he completed it. The divisional was telling me one time that he has been advising him to go to further his education. So, and not just that, one of the residents of the orphanage also testified that this Kefas was building a house in Pape, 8-bedroom flat in Pape, and that one of the doors like it's cost about 50,000 naira as at that time. So yes, the orphanage is such a way that if something is happening, it's like a rumor, it will start spreading. So we're hearing it. My brother was hearing it. We're talking like this guy is doing some things that are fishy. Somebody that came to the orphanage, any 20,000 naira, spends most of the time in the orphanage, now started driving a fairly used Benz. So, I mean, most likely he bought it now, except if somebody gifted the Benz, but it's most likely he bought it. So he started riding a fairly used Benz, and even one of the residents of the orphanage testified that sometimes he will give his own account number to the visitors to transfer money to. You understand? So and again, he would the foodstuff, the ones that will be left will be expired ones. I'm telling you from personal experience. So I will go to the orphanage sometimes to eat. You'll see they will serve Indomie. The Indomie will be black. You'll see black, literally black. As you just put the first spoon, you can't just swallow it. It was not just once. It was not even, maybe like 2 times I saw that happen. And I was just like wondering, like, what is going on here? So the children were complaining that they were giving them expired food. That Kefas was carrying their food to go and sell in his own shop in Pape. So, and me, I have option because I'm not a resident of the orphanage. But the children, they don't have any choice. They have to eat the food. Another thing I noticed again, that it was like, as a Kefas would just, as in, mercilessly beat the children, mercilessly beat the children. In fact, the beating somehow resulted to the deaths of one of a young boy called Abe, small Abe, because there were two Abednegos. Abe is the short form for
Abednego.
Abednego. So to differentiate them, they called one
So they
small.
tortured this
Yeah,
child
yeah,
until he
yeah.
died.
Yes, yes. So I'm trying to get the sequence of the story right, so that, yeah. So what led to the beating? So the girls were complaining that um, the Dana Sebe will be entering their room just at ungodly hours. Will be entering their room, and then there was an accusation of sexual sexual molestation. So
The Dan and Sebe is the one that had left.
yes, he used to come. He comes when
Okay,
he's
used
not on
to
assignment.
visit.
He used to come, yes, to co-manage the orphanage with Kefas. But Kefas is the one. Kefas Stadios is the one that used to be there most of the time. And in fact, Kefas Stadios, Dana Sebe, and Mrs. Ruth Ibrahim, they attend the same church, Ekwa Wuse to Blantyre Street. So when this matter came up, including the girl story, which I'm coming to later, I wrote to the church that this is what your elders are.
To win.
Yes, the pastor said, what can he do? That he's not a security organization that can carry out investigation. So, but I did report. I sent an email to the church. So Kefas will beat the children, will beat them mercilessly, and when they are sick, he will not he will not take them for medical attention. So apart from that, children were dying frequently, like frequently. Children were dying frequently. I also have the audio. I will share it with you. So I left the orphanage somehow. I left the orphanage at a certain point. The friction was too much.
Just to catch you a little.
Yes, please.
So the Dan and Sebe, he said he used to intrude into the private
and there
rooms
was
of these people.
there was accusations, there were complaints of sexual molestation.
And these complaints were coming from
the
those
girls,
from the girls.
children, from the children. Yeah.
Those underage children.
Yes, those underage children. Yeah.
And was this the reason why one of the boy was beaten?
Yes, that was the reason why. I was coming to that. The case is complicated, so you have to. I'm just weaving in and out, trying to
Weave it together.
Yes, so this case is complicated. Do you understand? It's complicated. In fact, when I went to the police station with the case, the man was like, "This case get leg." So unfortunately, we didn't continue because they were asking me for money. Like, I should pay 20,000 naira for them to. So I had to link up with DSS. I got across to one of the donors and reported to him. So he linked me up with DSS, and that's how we went to DSS to make our report. Where about 9 of us who wrote statement with DSS. And then we also went to NAPTIP. So I'm coming. The story is complicated, so I have to
just take your time and unbundle them.
Yes. So like I said, Kefas was beating the children mercilessly, like beating them. Apart from the embezzlement, and apart from that, Kefas is a very disrespectful, very arrogant person. So he was also having problems with the staff, even with the Dan Asebe himself. They were not. They are not. They are not really on good terms. And even if you look at the orphanage is located in a slum. Gishiri is a slum. Yeah. So then we have over the fence. We had neighbors. He also had issue with them. So even my mom too had issue with her. So my mom would be complaining like, this guy is disrespectful, that even their last born cannot do this kind of. But I would just say, just try to calm her down and try to follow, be diplomatic. So this boy, like I said, small Abe, I spoke with the brother. The brother is called Linus. I spoke with the brother yesterday. The event is so traumatic that whenever he comes to the brother's case, he can't talk. He will just keep quiet. So I spoke with him yesterday. He's in Kaduna right now. He dropped out of school. He told me he dropped out of school because he couldn't fund his education. So another thing again is that the orphanage is a business. Mrs. Root is not it's not a charity organization. It has the face of a charity organization, but it's actually a business. Like she will collect donations, even say a child that does not have a particular sickness. She'll say this child has a sickness, collect money from the donors and spend it on herself. I have the audio and I will play it. So she will collect money from donors, and there's this building they started, story building they started. If you enter the gate, there's on the left side there's this uncompleted building. They were collecting money from donors over and over for that same building without completing it. So she was also carrying food from the orphanage to go and sell in her restaurant. I was telling you that Mrs. Wood started a lot of businesses. All of them cried because of the way she was. Even there is this orderly, they call them orderly, that used to be attached to them. There's this, her name is Happiness. She was attached to Mrs. Wood. That lady suffered. I think she asked that she doesn't want to be an orderly to Mrs. Wood again because of the way she was being oppressed. So she started car leasing, restaurant, supermarket. It's just several businesses. They were just failing. Even the school right now, I told you, is nothing to write home about. So I left the orphanage. Mrs. Wood she would say I should come around, and she was supporting me, but I was not happy with what I was seeing. So I was distancing myself from her because seeing her just torturing people like that, I mean oppressing people like that, I couldn't stand it. So I just felt like something is really wrong with this woman. And my mother's case was also deteriorating. So I wasn't comfortable again. So there was one time my mom was sick, and then she just came to like just cause trouble. I was attending to my mom, and she came and what caused trouble. So I got very angry with her and say, hey, if you try that, if you so and that was how the relationship ended. I was on scholarship with Shell. I have the documents here. So I was on scholarship with this is Shell scholarship. I was on Shell, and I got two scholarship of Chevron and Shell. That covers 6 years. So I just brought only but I had to pick one because that's the standard. You pick only one. So I left the orphanage, and my mom's case deteriorated. She died. So I was very pained. I was grieving and all of that. So it now came to my attention that there was this girl. Her name is Christy. They also call her Chica. I used to know her. Her very small girl. She doesn't talk. She doesn't talk too much. You know, there are some children that are very active. She's not that kind. She used to have these pimples all over her face. That Chica got pregnant in the orphanage. Got pregnant, and they sent her out of the orphanage. And that Mrs. Roots collected the baby from her. They don't know where the baby is. And they say, so and that this girl is about 13 years old that time.
13.
13, between 13 and 14, a minor. And that they gave her to go and to marry a man that has 6 children in Nyanya. She's still there till today. So I couldn't believe my ear that this kind of thing could happen. So I started making contact, trying to get in contact with the girl. I think it was this was 2020. I think I got her contact a year later. I now spoke to her. I have the chat. She now said that Dana Sebe slept with her. She mentioned the name. Now I said there was this person that used to be also in the orphanage there, Nehemiah. Before Kefas came, he was managing the orphanage. We call him Pastor Nehemiah. So he uses crutches. He's like somebody who was affected by polio, and he's late now actually. So he has a room close to the gate. We used to go there to spend time with him because he's very free. Among the 3 Kefas, Dan Asebe. He's very free with the children, and the children liked him. So me too, I go there and stuff like that. So he has a room there. So she said after there was again. Like I said, the case is complicated, so I will just have to like that, then piece the whole thing together at the end. So the thing is this: if you make a complaint, if the children make a complaint to Mrs. Ruth Ibrahim that they are molesting them or that they are not treating them well, what happens is that she will throw those children outside the orphanage. She will throw the children out of the way. There are several children like that that were thrown out of the orphanage. You understand? So that's created a culture of fear that they cannot
talk.
They cannot talk. Yeah. So and anybody that Kefas or Dan Asebe reports to Mrs. Ruth, whether a staff, that staff most likely will be going. So that happened. There was this nurse. She used to work with. She used to take care of the. She's the one that does the laundry.
Just before you talk about the knocks, I need you to finish about the child that was raped.
Okay.
And impregnated.
So yes. So I eventually, after trying, I got the contact of the girl. So she didn't want to talk the first time, but I kept urging her. She now opened up that Dan Asebe slept with her in Pastor Nehemiah's room. Pastor Nehemiah had, I told you, due to the problem that he had with Dan Asebe and Kefa Stadios, he left the place. So the room, I think it was taken over by that Dan Asebe. So it was in that room, he's allegedly that he slept with her. So she now got pregnant. She got pregnant. Mrs. Ruth learned about it. And this is against the backdrop of missing children. In fact, she had a case with NAPTIP before I reported this one. Case of child trafficking with NAPTIP. I'm coming to that one. So that he slept with Dan Asebe, this civil defense, is a civil defense officer I told you, slept with her in Pastor Nehemiah's room. She got pregnant. Mrs. Ruth learned of it, took the girl out of the orphanage, and put her in the house of somebody else. Then she delivered in a clinic in Nyanya. So Mrs. Ruth now told her that if she allows her to take the baby away, she will sponsor her education. So at the point of delivery, the baby was taken away, and the baby was not seen until about 4 years later. And that was when I reported to NAPTIP. So not just that, they now took her, and there was a man, I don't know what happened to the man's wife. The man has 6 children. He stays in Nyanya. They took this girl, and the man was looking for somebody to marry. They now took this girl, Chika. Her name is also Christiana, as a minor, to go to marry that man. The girl is still in that house till today, as I'm talking. We spoke yesterday.
The child, where did you guys find the child after 4 years?
Okay, so I when I learned of the case, I went to NAPTIP, knowing that there were other cases of missing children that I know of. I went to NAPTIP to go and report. This is 2020. When I went there, they said that she has a pending case of child trafficking. The person that reported this case, I don't know the person. It's different from the one I brought. That they were already inviting her for a case. I think the person involved the child involved is called Moses. So she was already being invited and interrogated on that one at NAPTIP headquarters, Dalaba Crescent. So I now reported this one. Somehow the case did not catch on because I waited. I didn't hear any response. So I went back again and refiled. I refiled the case. So that was when they now said I should give them the address of Mrs. Ruth. I don't know the house, but I know the school, the one at Wuse. There's this the school, one of the branches of the school, Melchizedek Academy, that is at Wuse. Wuse, yes. That's after this. There's this bridge, as if you are going to Maraba. Like there's one. So that was where the school. So I gave them the address, and I googled it and got the address and gave it to them. So they went and they went to go and arrest her. And when they arrested her, she was proving stubborn. They now put her in a detention and asked her to produce the baby. I remember I told you she already has a case with them before. And not just that, some years before, there was somebody reported to CID. CID, I think Maitama. How we knew about it was the CID people came and my brother was sitting with the management of the orphanage. He was just sitting there. They just came and rounded them up and took them to their office. And that is when my brother learned that somebody reported Mrs. Ruth that there was a baby, the woman was pregnant with a baby, and Mrs. Ruth already made arrangement for the baby to be sold. The baby had not even yet been born. So, but then the husband was Comptroller General of Prisons. So he came and rescued the wife and the other people that were arrested. So, and there were several cases like that were being killed and buried that because of the influence they had at that time. So they went and arrested Mrs. Ruth, and then they asked her to produce the baby. So this is like 4 years after this thing. She didn't set eyes on that baby after delivery in that hospital. They said the hospital has closed, safe. That's what she told me, that they can't, though it is in Nyanya. I have the picture. I have the picture of the baby. So when I learned of the case first thing I did was to go and I confronted Mrs. Hood that what did you do to this girl? What did you do to her? So I started getting threats. And so she posted the baby's picture to as if to convince me that the baby is with her. So I screenshot it and send it to Christy or Chika, the girl that was raped.
The mother.
Yes, that is this your child? He said, where did I get the picture from? I said, Mrs. Wood, when I confronted her, she put it on her status. So I screenshot it and sent to her. I have the chats. I'll forward it to you. I forwarded it to you already. So they arrested her and then she produced the baby. Now, we don't exactly know if it is the baby because now, if you look at it, this is 4 years. A baby that was at the point of delivery was taken away for 4 years. We don't know whether it's the actual baby.
You guys have not been able to do a DNA test.
We have not done. The case just entered. This is since 2020. The case just entered court, got to court this year. Do you understand? The next hearing is October 2nd. So she produced the baby. And I told you that the girl was given to marry a man. The name of the man in Nyanya is Mr. Omego. He lives at the back of Karu Market. I've gone there, but I never set eyes because Chika, this girl, also by name Christiana, told me that the Mr. Omego has been threatening that if he lays his hand on me. So in order to avoid problem, when I didn't go to the house exactly, I only just visited her to know her state. And while in the house of that man, she got pregnant again. This girl is 19 years old now. So at the age of 17, she already had 2 babies. The second pregnancy was in the house of the... So she never told me that the man slept with her. Remember I told you that she was given for marriage to that man. I mean, I could not just imagine how you can give a minor to marry a man that has 6 children. I don't know what happened to the man's wife. Till today, I don't know. So the man has even been finding it difficult to. From what Christy told me, or Chika, she told me that this man is a plumber. He's a plumber. So there's somebody that can barely feed his own family. So you see, every time Christy will be calling me, I need money, I need this. I can show you the screenshots of those things. Even yesterday, she said that I should assist her. She can't go to school. She can't feed well and stuff like that. So so they took I'm just trying to get back on track. So we started pushing the case.
You need a break?
No, I don't need. I'm just trying to recall because the case is a bit. It's
just try to shoot at the main point.
Yes.
So that it won't be too
yes.
long.
So the son-in-law of okay, let me start with the brother. The brother of Mrs. Ruth is called Mr. Ben. Mr. Ben Adik is an NDLEA official. So I called him to talk about how Mrs. Ruth, his wife, that's the sister-in-law to Mrs. Ruth, her name is Barbara Adik. Barbara Adik and Kefa Stadios, how they ganged up together to oppress my mother, leading to the worsening of her condition and her eventual death. So I called her, look at what your wife did. And this thing, he started saying that he started threatening me that I'm a scammer, that he heard that I didn't even graduate from medical school. I am a fake medical doctor, blah, 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 just threatening me. So I was really angry because I was grieving. So I said, I insulted him back. I said, you are very stupid. You are very stupid. So we call ourselves names. So, and so I like I said, I'm just trying to get myself back on track. The son-in-law of this woman is Barrister Ocholi Okutekpa. He owns a law firm in Apo, Newman and Law, and he's also a preacher. So we are from the same tribe. We are both from Kogi State, Igala by tribe. So I felt like the case was becoming too intense. One of it was that they were threatening my brother, my younger brother, who was staying in Nasarawa State. They were threatening him, and not just that, they sent somebody to physically assault him and he was not part of the case. He didn't even make a statement at NAPTIP.
So they attacking you. They started attacking you because you made a report.
Yes, they started attacking me.
And the report of these things, or this whole thing we're talking about here is that this orphanage, what did you say is the name?
Hope for Survival
this
Orphanage.
Hope for Survival Orphanage. That there, the owner of the orphanage, according to you, is the lady you mentioned,
Mrs. Ruth Ibrahim.
There's still what people bring for these orphans.
Yes, use it for their own personal use, including selling it. Both Mrs. Ruth and Kefa Stadios.
And what again?
And that there was a rape of a minor who was given out eventually as a minor to marry a man with 6 children.
And some children are tortured to death.
And sent out whenever they complain, either of sexual molestation or any ill treatment in the orphanage. They are sent away. They just throw them out. And there were cases of missing children, babies that were missing. We have the names of the babies that are missing.
So these babies are orphans. That people brought.
Yes. In fact, this girl that I'm talking about, this primary victim, Christy, she was given to them by social welfare. So meaning she doesn't have a family that can stand up for her. Yeah.
You also talked about
a boy that died. Yes, a boy that died, small Abe, that was beaten and neglected, and he died in the orphanage. The brother is Linus,
And the forged
documents. Yes, because there was a high-ranking government official who came to donate money to sponsor some girls' education in that orphanage. So they started attending Bingham University. One of the persons girls that was attending Bingham University at that time was Esther. Her name is Esther. In fact, this girl, Esther, had made attempts to report to the authorities about what was going on in the orphanage. But then Mrs. Ruth started begging that after all I've done for you, you want to go and report me? And so she decided to step away. I also have her testimony on audio. So I contacted this Barrister Ocholi Okutekpa. The father is a senior advocate of Nigeria, J.S. Okutekpa, the one that represented Senator Natasha. So he's also a self-proclaimed preacher. So there's a church that invited him. I attend in Jos that invited him to come and preach. So I felt like, okay, the battle was becoming stiff, and knowing that they had this precedent of suppressing cases and killing cases. I told you of the one they killed, of that the case that they trampled on, the one of the woman that Mrs. Ruth had made arrangement to sell the baby while the baby was not yet born, while he was still in the womb. So I now decided that, okay, this Barrister Ocholi, the son-in-law to Mrs. Ruth Ibrahim, he married the daughter Julia. So I said maybe if I approach him, he will understand the predicament of these children and probably mediate He's also the solicitor to that orphanage, Hope for Survival Orphanage. So I put a call across to him. He said, how can I do this to his mother-in-law? Like that I reported her. I was not like I was surprised at his response, and then he was like, he's going to show me. He's going to prove to me that he's going to show me his action, and that so I now was like, okay, if it were your own daughter, how would you feel? He said it can never happen to his own daughter. It can never happen that her own daughter can never be raped like Chika and all. So I was not like, this man that claims to be a preacher, he hosts this program called the Relationship and Marriage. She has this YouTube channel and Instagram, and he used to go around touring outside Nigeria to talk about relationship and marriage. So I was just so surprised, and I was also angry at the same time. I said, I'm not afraid of you. You can do whatever you like. I have the audio. He didn't know that I was recording the call. I recorded the call. I will also forward the audio so that the viewers can listen to it. So I was just so surprised that and I told you about how they were, my brother who was innocent, not even involved in reporting the case or even writing a testimony, because they could not locate me. They went to go and send somebody to attack him just to discourage me from pursuing the case. So I knew that this matter was going to be very, very tough. And knowing that they have been doing this thing before, they have been suppressing cases like this before. So I now decided to reach out to Berekete family. That's an ordinary president. So I wrote a petition, got their affidavit, and then we were called. So I went with this girl, Christy, to Berekete family. I met with ordinary president. Ordinary president like, oh no, he wants to take it. So but he was on his way out. He now said Consultant Ike should handle the case. Yes, and that time I was on my way to NYC camp in Yobe State. So I just Consultant Ike gave Christy, I say her name is also Chika, give her 5,000 naira, and that she should come back on a certain day. That 5,000 was for transport. So I left her, and then I said she should go. But after we finished the orientation camp, I came back. I said, "Have you gone to Berekete family for them to take your story?" She said no. That the Mr. Omego, whose house she's still in, said that she should not go. So she couldn't go. So I now decided that okay, the next thing to do, because this thing has to get to the public so that they will not be able to trample on it the way they have been doing other cases. I'm sure that there are a lot of victims, but they are just afraid to talk. They're just afraid because of the intimidation, the kind of things they would do to them. In fact, when we went to court, one of the witnesses on the day, we have already given her transfer money to come to testify in court. And that morning, the mother started begging the victim that please, she should not go, that they will attack their family house. So she had to send an urgent message to the prosecutor, NAPTI prosecutor, that the mother will not allow her, or that she's afraid that Mrs. Ruth would attack them. That's what they do. Whenever you want to talk, they use intimidation, including Ocholi. Ocholi, I was expecting that he's a man of God, in quotes. I don't see him as a man of God with what he has done. He's the solicitor to the orphanage. He's also a son-in-law. I expect that if your mother-in-law is doing something that is not right, you should be able to
call her to order.
Not just being too quick all the time
to defend her,
which is where his fault is. So it is a kind of complicity by turning a blind eye. So I decided that okay, I have to reach out to use other channels so that this case will not be suppressed. Because now the girl is always calling me. I told you even yesterday she called me that she needs money. She can't go to school. She can't feed those 2 babies. So a girl at the age of 17 at that time already had 2 babies. She's 19 today, this year. So I said something has to be done. So I now went back. I went to Love FM, Pape Abuja. They took the case. They took Mr. Samuel Unze. Did a video like this of her testifying, and then now wrote a follow-up petition to my own, to NAPTIP. So that's how we continue pushing it since 2020 until the matter got to court this year. So it has not been an easy journey for me at all, because just like you cannot just rest, because you know that these people can come for you and they can harm you. And they are being in the business of doing this evil thing and being using their position, government position, to cover it up. And he said the way the family is such that, the husband, there's this story in the Bible. Sorry, let me bring it in, like that, quite, that illustrates what I'm talking about. This Jezebel and Ahab. That's how the dynamics of that Mrs. Ruth Ibrahim and the husband is like. The husband is the chicken, the one that hides behind the wife, while the wife is the dominant personality, perpetrating this evil. But I cannot pity this, because you're supposed to stand up to your wife to say what you are doing is not right. So, and not just that, there were other victims. Like, for example, there's one lady, she was so badly molested that, as in, I was even afraid that this girl will not go and commit suicide. I'm telling you. Badly.
From the same orphanage.
Yes, from the same. Even the sister too was also sexually molested. She's part of, I don't want to mention their name because their privacy is something I want to protect. As in, it's just so awful. Just so awful.
What is surprising or shocking to me is the fact that you have a lot of proof to back up these stories.
Yes.
And yet those who are saddled with the responsibility of protecting children like this are not doing enough.
Yes, you see, once visitors come, they don't know what is going on, because once you notify them that a visitor is coming, they package and present the children as though they are happy,
well taken care of.
In fact, you even give glowing testimony that these people are doing a good job. But once the visitor goes, the things that happen behind closed doors is terrible. It's just terrible. It's children dying frequently, just dying because of neglect, while the monies that are being donated. So I was talking about the senator that came, that wanted to that paid to sponsor some of these children to university. Those girls, hardly any one of them complete their education. So all of a sudden, I just discovered that they were no longer going to school. So this particular government official now requested that they should bring the evidence that they used the money well. Mrs. Ruth connived with one of the person handling, and they forged
document.
They forged it. Yes, I have the audio as well. They forged it to. So that's how they will put. In fact, most of the people that were in the orphanage, they never completed their education. They never completed it.
Kai.
They dropped out of school. In fact, one of them, that one that dropped out of the Bingham, is now, she went to Open University. I think she should be rounding up now. She's sponsoring her own self in her education. So they hardly complete it because the monies are being used for something
And
else.
this orphanage is still existing.
And the bad thing that the case is in court. Ocholi contacted Mr. Omego that this girl should be returned to the orphanage. As in, you see, there's a flaw here. Why is the case in court? This girl, the minor, is still in the hands of the man that wanted to marry. Is still there till today, and the case is in court. And you know that this man has links with Mrs. Ruth, because for somebody to say, "I need a wife," and Mrs. Ruth and her can
carry one and give
her, that means the relationship is a tight one. So you see, there's the possible case of witness tampering already. So like, she was supposed to testify at Berekete, because we felt like that was a very good opportunity, because I felt like ordinary president was going to take the case, follow it up, but Mr. Omego did not allow her to go and testify. So we had to be sneaking. We sneaked to get to Love FM to go and have the video is there. It's with Love FM. I was trying to get the link. I downloaded the video, but the device is the video was very heavy, so my device crashed and stuff like that. So I contacted them to send me the video, the link. So
Wow.
That's how it has. That's how it has been. So when I was fighting on this case, they started saying that I'm a fake medical doctor. In fact, Ocholi wrote it in his because he's the one representing Mrs. Ruth now. This I have the proof here in his document that in the legal document bearing human law, that is his Ocholi's law chamber at Apu, that I'm parading myself as a medical doctor. So they thought that I dropped out of medical school.
Oh, they didn't know that you finished.
Yes, so they were spreading it that I'm a fake medical doctor, blah blah blah, like that. So it seemed that was not working. They now said they now started sending messages to they send message to Love FM that I have a mental problem. You know, now when somebody's having a mental problem,
Usually like that.
yes, it's
Character
like that.
assassination.
Character. In fact, Ocholi, without even verifying, said I'm parading myself as meaning I'm a fake medical doctor, right? And secondly, that I have a mental problem. Me that I'm a medical doctor, actively practicing. You cannot just see somebody and say and put on that person a psychiatric label without without due diligence. Ocholi wrote in his this is somebody that was called to bar 2009. We expect that you should be able to answer allegations without attacking the person that brought the allegation. So he said, I have a mental problem. I have it. That's libel because you have defamed me and you can't produce any document. But for the record, for public record, I have never been admitted in the hospital since when I was born. I'm not on any medication for anything. So they were just trying to stop my mouth from speaking. And you know, I also felt that Mrs. Ruth is very manipulative. In fact, a lot of our staff will tell you horrible story of how they were treated. In fact, some of them, there's even one that they are still owing us salary till today. So she was fomenting trouble, knowing fully well that Ocholi will always back her up to represent her in court and to. So there are cases like that, a lot of cases like that they have trampled upon because somebody. So that is where I have problem with Ocholi because he's indirectly complicit by standing irrespective of whatever for the for standing up for the mother-in-law rather than addressing the things that she's doing wrong. So
wow.
So they said that I have mental problem. They were just spreading it. Even Ocholi wrote it, like I said in his legal document. I have the proof. I want the world to see it too. So this is just what has been happening. They just if you talk, they send somebody after you to attack you. They use their influence. So the matter got to court this year. It got to court this year. The next hearing is October 2nd.
Are there lawyers that are representing you? Okay, the people who
it's
are
not my case. It's a federal government case.
Yes, that is what I remember. Those who are prosecuting these people are they from the
It's NAPTIP.
NAPTIP.
Yes, it's
They are
NAPTIP.
the ones prosecuting her.
Yes, they are the one prosecuting. So it's not my case. It's a federal government case.
Yeah.
So Ocholi was the one standing for the mother-in-law, but it seems like the thing was overpowering. It was for him. So the father is J.S. Okutekpa. He now came in with another senior advocate. So there are two senior advocates standing on the side of Mrs. Ruth against the NAPTIP prosecutor. Now, the danger here is that if the NAPTIP prosecutor, who is a junior, does not do his work well, they will trample on the case and maybe water down the allegations and then get away like they have always gotten away with in the time past. So I just felt like I needed to put in more effort to ensure that this story gets out to the world, that this hope for survival orphanage at a Nikon Junction is not what you are thinking. There are a lot of things. And I'm also begging the viewers that if you know you have experiences with these people, should come out and tell your testimony, even if it is even if they have to do it anonymously, because there are a lot of victims, but they will not come out. Even I myself, I had to summon courage to be able to do what I'm doing. I'm an introverted person. I don't like showing myself even on my social media handle is even scanty. I'm not a social media type of person. I just prefer to keep my private space. But this thing became out of hand. I saw victims that were suffering, and I just felt like I just have to come out of my shell and say these things and seek more support so that they will not trample on it. That this time justice will be served.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter. And once again, thank you for your courage and thank you for your effort in, trying to ensure that these children
Yes.
get justice.
Yes.
I applaud you for that. And hopefully this video will be able to get, to the right people who are going to push.
Yes.
And of course, we at KaaTruths Podcast, we are also going to help push to ensure that the case is not swept under the carpet as usual. Thank you, and we've come to the end of this episode, and I remain your host, KEE. Please do not forget to share this video. You may be saving lives. And do not forget to subscribe. I love you, and see you next time.